Hello, you're probably wondering who I am. I'm Lauren and I'm the new host of Habitz the Podcast. And what better way to start off? I've got an exclusive interview with Mark Tilbury, the king of TikTok for business. So Mark, top 10 on TikTok in the UK, top 100 creators.
How amazing is that?
How amazing is that? And you only did it in May 2020. How did TikTok coming back from businessman?
It's just a bit weird, really. I mean, I saw it when I was in China. Everyone was on it. And my son just said to me, we should be on it as well. So we got on it and look at the subscriber level. It's unreal.
And you're making TikTok, you associate with dancing, fashion, that side of things. But business, you wouldn't think the TikTok?
No, well, there was no business on there at all. And obviously there's a lot of youngsters on there. And the first thing that we saw straight away is youngsters didn't have anyone to ask the questions that they want to ask, particularly around finance. And unfortunately, school's not teaching any of it. No. So we tried to put together lots of little lessons, basically, that seem simple to me with my years of being in business, but seem very helpful to the youngsters that we're reaching.
And for being a self-made millionaire like yourself, if you were younger now, and would you be grateful for this support, like having TikTok, having it so easily accessible to understand finance, investments, things that, like you say, aren't being taught in school?
Well, yes, without a doubt. And I had, although he didn't know it, I did have a mentor without a doubt. And he was feeding me snippets of information all the way through my growing up. And I don't think he even knew he was doing it, but they were all landing, every single one of them. And I think to have that help and inspiration and someone to look up to, I think is very, very important, because it helps you learn so many lessons and not sort of fall down by not learning them.
So TikTok, it's brand new. There's going to be a lot of mistakes along the way. What would be your first bad habit then for TikTok for business?
Well, I see a lot of people putting text all over the place on their TikToks. And, it is meant to marry the video with the text. But quite often they don't re-look at the videos they're producing, and you find out their descriptions covered up half the text. Or if there's too much, people just don't want to read it. They want that instant fix pretty much. So too much text is definitely a thing you want to avoid.
And I think it's where you place text as well, because at the bottom of TikTok, you've got your caption, your hashtags, whatever. Yeah. If you place it there, it's going to be impossible to read it, isn't it? So I think where you position your text as well is really important.
Exactly that. And sort of half text being shown, you can read half of it and you can't read the rest. So it's like, well, what's that? You don't know what it's about, do you? So definitely not too much text, and make sure where you put it is that it's going to be seen.
And then what would be your second bad habit then for TikTok and for business?
I think if you just film it on your mobile phone, it's okay, but it's not great. Really, switching it into a good habit would be to use a decent camera. You can do some of the editing on a different setup, but then edit it on the TikTok edit, because if you don't, TikTok don't like it. So, right. They'll tend, again, not to push it as much because, it's not done on their app, and people look at it and think, well, I can't do that on the app that's there. So definitely, use a decent camera, do some of the editing, but the main edit do on the TikTok app.
And it's like taking pride in your work as well. I know everyone's budgets are completely different, but thinking even things like natural lighting, things like that can massively, massively help and make your video look 10 times better than what it was.
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, lighting's a major thing, and you only tend to start noticing that when you do a lot of filming, because you want a very neutral light. I mean, some, other videos might take a long time to film, and that light's changing constantly throughout that. So if you get yourself a decent lighting setup, that's always good. It's not always possible, obviously, because some of these things are done spur of the moment. But generally speaking, you can do a setup wherever you are to get yourself semi good.
And Mark, finally, what would be your third bad habit for TikTok for business?
Don't repurpose videos just for TikTok. You can certainly do it the other way. If you do your TikTok videos, you can repurpose them across to Instagram Reels, but don't do it the other way around. It doesn't tend to work very well. And also, if you've got a video on there, don't delete it, because, again, the algorithm, as far as we're aware, doesn't like that to be done. So basically, just private it. If you don't want it seen, you don't think it's really representing your brand, or it hasn't performed well enough, just depublic it and private it, and that's the way to do it. Don't delete.
Is there anything as a content creator starting out, anything you'd recommend to them?
You've got to come up with original content for starters. There's no point just doing something someone else has done. And also, I always see quite a lot of people on there just grab their phone and they do something into their phone. And this would be brilliant. This would be really funny. Everyone will love this. But it's got no structure to it. And if you're going to put something out, it's got to have some form of structure.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? There's nothing to be learned from it. It doesn't really work. You're not going to get the views, that's for sure.
And it's not a case of, I think people associate with TikTok, you have to constantly be posting. It's a video almost every few hours, but even one video does the trick. Yeah,
I mean, when we post, generally we will probably film 10 to 12 videos at a time, and we will have some sort of script into them. I know people don't like you say you script things, but you've got to have some sort of idea of what you're going to do and what you're going to put forward to people. And I think that works for us, certainly, because there's always a story there.
Definitely, and it's all about telling a story.
Yeah, without doubt. You've got to have that hook, haven't you? The most important thing when you start a TikTok video is it's a very short attention span. And within that first 3 seconds or so, you've got to hook them in.
Yeah.
And it's like building a proper story, really. You've got to have that start. It's got to build all the way through and give you a resolution at the end as well. And I think, if you can build it through with a resolution, people are going to watch again and again, hopefully. And of course, with that, TikTok look at it and go, wow, this is good, and they push and push and push the video that you've put out there. So really, that's one really good tip on how to go a bit viral, shall we say, because we've had some 20 plus million videos out there, and when you think 20 million people, I mean, can you imagine 20 million people in one place?
This is not even fit Wembley, is it? That's bigger than Wembley.
100,000 fit in Wembley.
So then, Mark, what would be a second good habit then, business for TikTok?
I think, as we've said before, using good content, just literally thinking about what you're putting on. And, the reason I say that is because I do look at TikTok and I look at what's on there. And so many people that ask us the question, what should we do? They're doing the exact opposite. They're not thinking about what they're putting onto the platform. And as I say, if there's nothing to learn or there's nothing entertaining, why are they going to watch? There's no reason to watch.
Yeah.
So make it entertaining or make it educational.
It's all about content, because that content is going to keep them engaged. It's going to keep them coming back, because you're going to become a one-hit wonder otherwise.
Yeah, maybe not even a one-hit wonder. A one-try wonder.
A one TikTok wonder.
Yeah, that's it.
One try TikTok wonder. So I train that drunk. So
it's easy for you to say.
So third good habit then for TikTok for business.
Well, look at the For You page, because that's going to throw at you all the things you're interested in, and you can find out what's actually trending out there. And if you can put a slight swerve ball on what's actually physically trending, you can be the next trend. And that's the thing, is to move these trends on. You're not directly copying, that's for sure, because that doesn't really work. But if you can put a swerve ball on that trend, then that certainly has worked for us. That's without a doubt.
So keep looking at that's me saying it now. Yeah. So keep checking the For You page, seeing what's out there, what your audience is engaging with.
Yeah, and obviously what you're interested in, the For You page is feeding you that information. It knows what you like looking at. So obviously keep looking at subjects around what you're interested in. So if I'm obviously interested in business and investing and so on, it knows that. So it's going to feed me that information. And that's obviously quite a useful tool. Yeah.
So Mark, that was Habitz. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you then? Obviously, you might be on a little something called TikTok, but where else can people find you?
Well, they can certainly find me on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. And just find me at Mark Tilbury. Simple as that.
That was our interview with Mark Tilbury. Make sure you're following him at Mark Tilbury on TikTok to see all his content. And make sure you're following us at Habitz the Podcast on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook.